Have you ever felt like you're meant for something more? Like there's a voice inside you whispering that the life you're living isn't the life you were born for? Rumi, the 13th century mystic and poet, once wrote, "You were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life?" It's not just beautiful language. It's a wake-up call, a direct challenge to every fear, every excuse, and every limitation we've accepted as just the way things are. Today, we're going to explore what this quote truly means and how it can radically shift the way you see yourself, your potential, and your purpose. Welcome to The Unfolding Journey, a channel dedicated to unlocking ancient wisdom for modern life. Here, we explore the deep truths that lie beneath poetry, philosophy, and the human experience. If you're someone who feels called to live a life of purpose, not just survival, you're in the right place. Let's dive deep into Rumi's timeless wisdom and discover why you were never meant to crawl. Rumi begins with a reminder. You were born with wings. What are these wings? They are not physical. They're symbolic. Wings represent potential, freedom, imagination, courage, and divine essence. We are born with the capacity to dream, to create, to overcome. Every child begins life with curiosity, fearlessness, and a sense of wonder. These are our wings. But somewhere along the way, we trade them in. For certainty, for safety, for crawling. Why prefer to crawl through life? Crawling is the life of limitation. It's when we settle for jobs that drain us, stay in relationships that don't honor us, numb ourselves with distractions, silence our deepest desires out of fear. Why do we do it? Because we've been conditioned to. From a young age, we're taught to color inside the lines, not ask too many questions, and follow the right path, even if that path leads us away from our soul. We crawl because we forget we can fly. Comfort is seductive. It tells you to stay small, to play it safe, to avoid risk, and slowly it becomes a cage. But here's the truth. You were not born to be comfortable. You were born to become something greater. Rumi's quote is not just poetic, it's revolutionary. He is calling out our habit of shrinking, of crawling when we could be soaring. Ask yourself, where in your life are you crawling? Where have you clipped your own wings? This quote is an act of remembrance. Rumi doesn't say you can grow wings. He says, you were born with wings. That's different. It means your potential isn't something you earn. It's something you already have. This is echoed in many traditions. Christianity, the kingdom of God is within you. Hinduism, you are that. Buddhism, look within, you are the Buddha. You don't need to become someone else. You need to unbecome everything you're not. Flying means risk. It means leaving the known. It means trying something new. It means failure, falling, getting back up. But it's also where the joy is. Flying is writing that book, starting that business, ending that relationship that's keeping you stuck, moving to that city your heart whispers about at night. Flying is terrifying, but crawling is soul death. Here's the part we often forget. Your wings aren't just for you. When you fly, you give others permission to fly too. You inspire, you uplift, you ripple outward in ways you'll never fully understand. There's someone out there who needs your story, someone who will heal because you chose to soar. This is not self-help fluff. This is spiritual responsibility. Everyone's wings look different. For some, it's art. For others, it's teaching, healing, leading, inventing, loving. To know your wings, ask yourself, what makes you feel alive? What could you do for hours without checking the time? What did you love as a child before the world told you to be realistic? What scares you in the best possible way? Your wings are often hiding behind your fears, but they're there, waiting. Let's hear the quote again. You were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life? This is not judgment. It's not shame. It's invitation. Rumi, the mystic, believed in the divine spark inside each person. This quote is his gentle reminder. Stop pretending to be small. Stop apologizing for your light. Stop crawling when you have everything you need to rise. Let this sink in. You're allowed to dream big. You're allowed to want more. You're allowed to outgrow people, places, even past versions of yourself. You're allowed to fly, even if you fall, even if no one else understands, even if you have to do it afraid. Especially then. You weren't born to just survive. You weren't born to follow the script. You were born to soar, to shine, to unfold. So don't crawl through life because someone once told you that's all you could do. The wings are already there. You just have to use them. If this spoke to something deep in you, if it reminded you of who you really are, then subscribe to The Unfolding Journey. Dizzy, let's rise together. Movie Camera new videos every week on soul growth, ancient wisdom, and living a life of depth. Your journey has already begun. Now it's time to fly.